Hi, my name is Maria Moreno, and I still remember the dark ages when one couldn't TiVo or fast forward through commercials, so you would end up having to see things that you didn't care about. As a kid, I still remember seeing commercials that went a little like this. Howdy y'all, I'm here holding a fresh pile of lettuce, half a tomato, a gallon dressing, and 4 tubs of butter. Now, all these ingredients are rolled up into a tiny little ball and deep fried 6 times to create the freshest lettuce in town. Now y'all just scurry on down to your local CVS and get your hands on the new and fresh salabetas. As the warning, the salabetas is made from chicken compost and manure, can cause paralysis, diabetes, heart palpitations, death, or worse, but it's so damn good, you won't even know the difference. These days, it's less about commercials and more about banner ads on websites and Twitter, but the purpose stays the same. Sell, sell, sell. To a small kid and most adults, these ads are loaded with appealing graphics and words, but in my family, I was expected to challenge these commercials and advertisements. In fact, I often would find myself in conversations that went a little like this. Why does that burger always look so good on TV, but not when I go? That actor looks constipated. What's wrong with them? But most importantly, what was the point of what I just saw? I've been asking myself questions since then, and I always seem to come back to asking, what was the point? It seems that as people, sometimes we do things to do them, but we never really get the opportunity to understand. So for ISM, I chose marketing as my topic of study this year, and I began with my interviews. My first interview was with my now mentor, Lee DeHousen, and the reason why I chose him was because compared to other people that I interviewed, he focuses only on a small part of the process, but is still able to give me a good look at how marketing works. The next interview that I had was at Rockfish Marketing Agency with Kayla Bond and David Morley. I interviewed a lot of people during that time, but the overwhelming consensus advice was the importance of social media and the gradual shift from traditional to online marketing. Kayla's job had more to do with managing everyone on the team and making sure that everyone had a cohesive idea of what the plan was, from sales to analytics to creative, and even the website technology team, to make sure that it runs the way it's supposed to, while David Morley is the creative director of Rockfish Marketing. The next interview that I had was with Don Green. Don Green had been working in marketing for 30 years, and the way that he describes his job now is he works with large clients to create an overreaching marketing plan that fits best with the interests of his clients. So for example, he worked with Telecom, T-Mobile, and a bunch of other companies doing little jobs, but now he's at a point in his life where he can do a big job and he's able to create the ideas that you see on TV or commercials. He recommended that I have a working knowledge of software like Excel, Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, coding, some programs, and so that if I become manager, I will be able to effectively communicate with my employees. The good news is I have experience with most of these programs, but I will still continue to study and understand new software as it comes out. From there, Don pointed me to SEO marketing, which is search engine optimization. So I contacted Bill Kruger, who owns his own digital strategy company directly focusing on SEOs. Now, SEOs are a strategy for online sites. So in past years, it's been a growing trend for successful website owners, and they're vital to the world of the internet. So the way that he explained it is, you're optimizing the story of a company so that the greatest amount of people see it, using keywords for the website. This made me, I'll try to pose it in a different way. If you're an online consumer and are you going to go look for a product on page 20 of Google? No, if it's not on page 1, it doesn't exist. From there, I talked with Mauricio Galvan, who is the marketing director of MoneyGram International. He was an invaluable person to talk to due to his knowledge of corporate versus agency marketing companies. And while he specifically deals with the corporate side, he had extensive knowledge working with outside agency help. So his major distinction between the two, which is what I wanted to know, corporate focuses on a singular product with multiple ideas for marketing that specific product, instead of thinking of one marketing strategy for multiple products at the same time. So for example, Pepsi has their own in-house marketing team. However, sometimes they will go out and they will ask other agencies to come up with ideas for them. Obviously, Pepsi did not do a very good job, but that's none of my business. onto my research. Most of my research was focused on where is marketing going and where should I be focused on next. And from what I've surmised, marketing is going to live on forever. Just consider posters, radio, TV shows, and now social media. Marketing is an ever-changing, ever-constant feature of the corporate landscape that we need to continue to put forward. So there will always be a necessity for marketing, regardless of what happens, because companies are always going to have new products that need to be taken for the next person. Also a part of my research was trying to understand what are the most important facets of a company. So the 4 main things that I have synthesized is there are 4 main basic principles that no matter what happens will always help a product succeed in marketing. So one of them is brand recognizability, search driving content, consumer loyalty, and a good story. Notice here that a good product is not necessarily a major thing that needs to be a part of the marketing process. And the best example that I can give is Denny's Twitter. I don't know if any of you have ever gone to Denny's. Denny's is disgusting. But they have a very large Twitter following compared to other companies. Why is this? Well, Denny's Twitter is amazing. And they come up, this is where I'm gonna put a tweet from them. It's gonna be funny. This is an example of one of their tweets that has gained major popularity, especially in millennials and young adults who enjoy memes. And this is kind of a new way of thinking that a lot of companies are moving towards. They're getting Twitters and hiring people specifically to do Twitter for them, to make memes for people to see their product, get more out into the world. And a lot of this helps companies gain more recognizability or maintain a better relationship with their customers. So for example, Pepsi with their latest mess up with the commercial with Kendall Jenner, now they're doing more work on the social media side of Twitter, which I think is very interesting. So for my original work, I decided to put these 4 basic principles to the test. And these principles can work for music as well, which is what I based my original work on. So take Queen, Metallica, Kiss. Even if you've never really listened to their music and gotten into them, they're a part of the fabric of society because they're recognized, they have a strong consumer base, and they have a good story behind them. So Manifest Destiny's Child is one of the bands that I interviewed and fell in love with, and that is who I helped for my original work. So I worked closely with the band members to revamp their logos, their band art, and their social media. But then Katya Nathal approached me about helping her get a creators gallery off the ground through my marketing skills. And I felt as though I could combine the two. And so I got the band integrated with the gallery. So I was helping both of them at the same time gain traction and have more people know about their names. So for the exhibit, I began to make flyers that included Manifest Destiny's Child as the lead band that was going to be performing there. So people would be actually interested on going and seeing who they are and looking at the art that was going to be at the gallery. By the end of the night, we ended up selling out of the tickets, and the band had an amazing performance. And to quantify my work, I made a series of graphs that depicted how people enjoy, or like what kind of people are going to enjoy listening to Manifest Destiny's Child's music, according to who went to the gallery. So for example, most of the age range was from 18 to 25 or younger, and the gender was surprisingly mostly men, although maybe not surprisingly. You can figure that one out by yourself. Since it is a local show, it was mostly Frisco High School students, but there were quite a few Wakeland High School kids who were also attending out of the 127 people that I interviewed there at the gallery. However, that does not include everyone that was there. There were actually a lot more people, closer to like 600. This is where I'm gonna put my final product stuff. So, at the end of the day, I was able to get a marketing plan set in place for the band to implement into my second semester, but after finally securing Lee as my mentor, we began working on a marketing plan for my final product. We went through a couple of ideas, but finally settled into making a website for Cornbread Hustle. Now I know what you're thinking. What's Cornbread Hustle? They are a for-profit organization that helps reformed convicts get meaningful jobs to reduce recidivism rates in Dallas, Tarrant counties. I had an interview with one of the major CEOs of Cornbread Hustle, Susie Solstice, where I learned exactly what problems they were having and what they wanted to have accomplished. From here, I made a discovery report whose basic function is to come up with a plan of attack for marketing for them. The main thing that they needed help with is functionality for the websites for both employers and reformed convicts who were looking to join the program. This is where I'm going to put in a persona for the major thing of the discovery report was to make a persona. So it's like a short story of like the perfect person that they're looking for. So like I didn't copy that into my speech, but it's gonna be like, I don't know, 3 minutes. Like I timed it yesterday. Anyways, that was then reviewed by both Lee and in what is called an internal interview. That was then reviewed by Lee for what is called an internal review, and then Susie, a client review, to make sure that we were all on the same page. Once that was accomplished, I began working on the WordPress site builder Divi to make the layout of the website, which was a much harder process than I anticipated. I faced multiple challenges, from issues with understanding the software, plugins not working, and simply not understanding the time sensitivity of the process. The structure was something that I've never really been exposed to, and while my original work was more relaxed in the sense that nobody really knew what they were doing, so it felt more comfortable not to rely on people to do my work, the switch was a little bit more different. It was a challenge, and at times it felt like no matter how much work that was being done, nothing really felt complete. But now looking at what I was able to accomplish in the time that I had school, and also working on ISM, I'm proud of the beautiful website that I've made, even though it hasn't officially launched. This is where I'm going to explain the contrast of my website and then their original website. So like why it's wrong with like the hierarchy. So in Cornbread Hustle's original website design, they, as you can see, they have a scattered homepage. So the titles where you usually click to go to certain pages are confusing. You don't really know what you're going to find on each page. However, in my redesigned look, the homepage is a lot more streamlined, so you get straight to what you want. So it's more to the point than the original website, which kind of looks like nothing's there, like nothing's ever launched, and like it's not a real program. However, I feel like with mine, it looks cleaner, and people are going to be able to navigate with a lot more facility than before on their original website. It is more streamlined now, and it could potentially be a tool for Cornbread Hustle in the future once I finish it. I want to thank Lee, the MindTap team, and Susie for giving me this opportunity to create something that can live on and help future people. I had no idea that everything that I've been working for, like watching small commercials and questioning them, has been the beginning foundation for my passion for marketing. I've done all this research, and believe me, every single one of my interviews, every single one of my assessments, every single one of my blogs, I have really not done for the grade, but because I am genuinely fascinated by what I'm doing. And because of this class, I can say that everything I understand because I love. My name is Maria Moreno, and I invite you to take a commercial break with me and dare to leave something worthwhile behind. Thank you.